most anticipated show on a Monday night in country Belize, the business hour for movers and shakers, right here on Love Television, Love FM. I'm joined in studio by my co-host Troy Gabb. I'm your host Daryl Carter, and here are some of the things which we want to talk about tonight, Belize. July now, busy month, and while we were celebrating the birthday of the United States of America, World Cup is on, Tour de France is on. You have to be very busy in terms of catching up with harsh reality and what is going on. But I want to say, as we celebrated the birthday of the U.S., 250 years of existence, a couple things come to mind which I have to point out in terms of hard reality. One of the things is that the United States of America gave us the skyscraper, the tallest building in the world. And we celebrated that for a while. But then there comes Dubai, there comes other nations in the world who now have the tallest building in the world. We look again backwards and we're able to see they gave us one of the most outstanding bridge, which is the San Francisco Bridge. And we herald that, kept that over this time for a while. But today, the world 10 largest bridges are in China. And China has the most glass bridges also in the world, showing you that with time and movement and everything, you could no longer be there. The other thing that comes to mind is that America did put up the first train system and transported its people from one era to another era. But the Japanese took it over, and when they took it over, they also produced a bullet train, which is the fastest train in the world. And they move millions of people every single day without any kind of hip-hop or mess up or what have you. China was not so concerned about the bullet train, but China had linked all its little areas with the train, moving, again, millions of people every single day. The point that I'm trying to make to you is that America is no longer America in 2026. You have to open your eyes to see where the world has moved and where it is now headed. Lobster Fest in Placencia was a blast. Never gone, but Love FM kept me abreast. And when I wake up, I click on my radio. I'm a radio fan. And click on my radio and listen to, all the reports coming out of Lobster Fest and so forth. I wanted to go, but never couldn't put it together. And certainly enjoyed what I was hearing. You had so many barbecue, a lobster going on, so many other things, they make the cut up and have the little pepper and everything in it and so forth. And then you had the partying on the beach itself, which I am accustomed to, very familiar with. Our first trip to Placencia was 1978, and primarily I did that because my cousin, the late Arturo Gallego, came back from fixing a pool table in Placencia. And when he came back talking about this gorgeous, wonderful place. And I said to myself, you know what? I have to go there. I have to find this out for myself. But it takes you through, because I'm only a person, when you hit Silgrass, then I want to go to Hopkins. Then from Hopkins, I want to go through City River. Then I go in wrong. Meet up to Santa Cruz, from Santa Cruz to Riversdale, and then Riversdale into St. Bite, and then from St. Bite into Placencia. And every now and then you catch a boat and come over to Independence, and from Independence you're able to go back home. That was in those times, those years, and now it's a little bit different. But as Troy puts it, it's business, it's foreign currency, foreign earnings, and that is what is highlighted in this first Lobster Fest, because we expect San Pedro to have one, maybe Kikaka and throw one, but that's what it represents, that our fisher folks out there going out and putting that together for us. So we got to say kudos in that era. There comes a time when you have to say where they put your mind, and you have to draw out something where I know everybody going along with it, but it make a lot of sense because of the forward thinking that I have. When you cross over the Halover Bridge, you enter into Ladyville, and Ladyville runs all the way up to the boom cut off, which is now being made into a roundabout. The thing about it, if you're paying attention, if you're a person who are in city council and what have you, Ladyville has turned out to be the biggest town yet. But it's not a town. It's not defined in that particular era. The problem where we really have is that the majority of the outsiders that will take care of Ladyville, and Ladyville can take care of itself. There's come a time when we have to put the question to test, and you really and truly have to make up your mind, because Ladyville, as I speak, is bigger than Belize City. You got to do the maths. You got to see where it really is, how it stretch out from the sea all the way back to Last Bank, all the way back to the area there, and see it for your own self. It's time for Ladyville to be a city. It is time for them to have their own mayor and council. It is time for them to collect their own money and start to take up some of the package which is being met by all of us because they're not a city. And so I put that on the table because it's the most sensible things to do at this point in time, and it is growing every single day. That brings me to another point that I have also raised in terms of Belize City, in terms of expanding it to Greater Belize to mile 13, where the cemetery is on this side of the George Price. I don't see it make any sense where you have a cemetery outside the city limits, and I believe that it is time that the city grow in terms of Greater Belize City. Take on mile 8, take on whatever that is over there. You could give them people 2 years moratorium or what have you, in terms of, because they're always a hindrance to taxes. That's always a hindrance. But you give them a leave moratorium, move on with it, and be proactive in terms of your insight, in terms of your thinking, and better living for all in that particular era. So that's one of the things that we mentioned there. Our kids are out, and we say thanks to all the church groups, all the little organization that is holding something for them, keeping them busy in at any time here. And certainly, if you can give a job here and there, we certainly recommend that. We certainly big that up, because that is where the discipline kicks in. They learn things from others in the job site. They learn to be punctual, learn to be disciplined, get to a leave money, care home and leave money, share their money with their mommy, and they end up with a leave piece, put up one piece of savings, and we go from there. And that we don't want to throw. But we big up all those. We still have some schools still having a little vacation here, Bible school, churches stepping up and what have you. Kudos in that direction. That is welcome in there. So we're in the month of July, and it's hot, hot, hot. So we're in the month of July. It's also raining here and there. If you listen to Paul down in PG, and he's giving his interviews, sometimes they're interrupting because of rain. Rain is always one of those factors down south. But I said all of that because it's in the hurricane season. You don't want to put that away, and we here are responsible enough to tell you, look, set up your own little plan, have somewhere you want to go in terms of hurricane, and have some food set aside. We'll talk canned food and what have you, or packaged food or what have you, so that you can move, something comes. And the way how it's looking, it's blowing, it's coming, it's blowing, you never know. So that's one of the areas which we got to look at, and then we says kudos in that kind of preparation.
One concern right now is, since today the chicken price per pound has gone up.
Yeah, by 12 cents.
So
Yeah.
that is a significant increase. A 5-pound chicken is now 60 cents more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the way how these things work is that when you start to increase those main ingredients in the preparation of food for sale, it impacts the cost to the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it a bit more expensive, because they try to downplay it often by saying, well, only 12 cents, but then I'm at 25 cents before, and then I'm at so much before, and so it keep going up. For whatever reason the justifications are, it adds to the cost of production in the same light as how they say they are affected by the input costs for some of the inputs that they require to be able to feed the chicken with the necessary chemicals that they require to create the rapid growth. That the same way the consumer of that product now, especially those persons who are doing it for business, who are purchasing it for on selling, is going to say, well, you know, the cost of the chicken gone up by this amount, and they are going to add on their little amount, their 25 cents or so, drives up the cost. Yes, it might affect their business as well, because sometimes we don't know how to adjust our costs to absorb, and so oftentimes we have to be able to visit our production structure to reduce the costs that is now added to our production, which due to the chicken. And of course, they say, well, I give you 2 pieces of chicken, it can't be 12 cents, it can't be so much, but that's a sort of way how the producers of the chicken tries to justify their increase. And of course, they're saying that has been significantly impacted by the cost of the importation of that product that they import. And I think they said some of the stuff come from the Netherlands and so. And the Netherlands costs had gone up, so they have increased their costs as well. But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, which is to the consumer level for consumption and for reproduction, like in cooked food, that's where I think it gets a little bit dicey for the small businesses in
Yeah,
particular.
it's one of our national dish. You have the chicken along with if the rice or beans, or if that's 2 beans or rice or what have you. So it will affect us one way or the other. Here he says, kudos to Honorable Francis Fonseca. He was out for 3 months, recovering in terms of surgery that he took, and certainly to have him back in full swing, and certainly making some of the statements that he have made. Miss Amber Mariano wins our national celebration theme for this year, which is "Look at Me, I Am Belize" at 45. And so she won, and we says, hey, we see a very good team, and getting prepared for this. I gotta say this, it's gonna hurt, but I gotta say this. I see the two starting of the crossover bridges being going on. One by the Belcan, by the old BWS era that they have. We cross over right close to Santino, or Ina Santino yard, and then the other one over on this side. I try to figure out in my small little mind, why is it that we would want in Belize, and the way how we behave and everything, to take down and work on 2 bridges at the same time. I think somebody messed up. I think, really think out properly. But normally it start out with some good feeling or everything or what have you, but the reality I believe is that we're not good for maintenance, we're not good for finishing the thing, we're not good for what have you. I would have want to really and truly talk to the ministers to tell them, look, give it one on the bridge. Finish one for we. And I don't want the Belcan one.
You're rehashing something we've gone over already.
And then when you've done that, I will use that. Then you give it swing bridge.
You're rehashing something that we already went over. That yes, they messed up, but the monies are not going to be available after this. They've made it very clear. That discussion came up several times already.
Is a good excuse.
They dilly-dally with the bridge, between the confusion they had with the city council and who may do it and all of that, and that created a serious lapse time. That contributed to lapse time, and the monies were going to be taken away. And in order for us to continue to remain with the monies that were being granted to us, in particular from the Japanese, we have to, both bridges now, because of the disbursement schedule for these monies, drop in the same timeline. And so in order for us to benefit from it, we have to go ahead with the construction. Ideally, yes, you'd want to take down one bridge and work on it, because it's going to create a chaotic situation within the city. We have not seen it yet because it hasn't started yet, but it will. It will. But the bottom line is we either decide that we're going to run the risk and lose the monies to construct one bridge because we can't accommodate in terms of the traffic and only go one at a time. I think the authorities are saying, listen, we don't want to look this give horse in the mouth. We'll go full speed ahead and take both of them and deal with both of them at the same time. In tandem, you have the George Price Highway under construction, and you have the Philip Golson Highway under rehabilitation construction as well. So yes, it is going to be a chaotic situation. Within the next 6 months or so, you're going to start to feel the impacts of it.
Thank you, Troy. That's a good one. Hey, we celebrate with PAC 3 decades of their leadership in taking over the thing for Belize, and certainly it's a good thing because we stand out in terms of our greenery and what we do with our carbon and what have you, and certainly stand out for the rest of the world. So PAC, bless up, great 30 years, and certainly in terms of what you're doing. Hey, if you look at the coins have not changed for Belize and remains the same. But by September, new coins will be coming in, and we will be putting aside old coins and spending new coins, where the Honorable George Price and the Honorable Philip Golson will be on the other side of the coin rather than the Queen, who is on the coin at this point in time. So I just highlight that too, and keep on abreast of that. We started out with Queen Victoria, and then from Queen Victoria we ended up again with I think 2 other faces, and then this Queen that is on at this point in time. So we look forward for those new coins, and those of us who save money put up money like that over the period of time. So it's going. A lot of you watching the World Cup, we know it's still going on, and certainly a lot of dislikes for our president to go in and call and say, well, please put back my player on it and what have you, and that actually worked. But that game is on and out, and Belizeans are.
I think the game is 3-1 right now, Belgium, if my statistics
in favor of Belgium?
Are accurate, yes.
Oh, wow.
So,
man. Okay.
So far, the pleading hasn't really helped. Like I said this morning, it is wrong. The rules are the rules. You don't suspend no red card. Anybody get a red card? England got a red card last night. I think they should the king should call and ask for that player to be reinstated and for that red card to be suspended, because if it can work for for the United States, then it should be able to work for any other person, any other team that get a red card, since the precedents have been set. We know in football, once you get 2 yellow, that's a red, or if you get a red, because that was a dirty play.
Yeah.
And anybody saying different is extremely biased. You know, I was one of those persons who was supporting the United States. You know, I felt that, you know, they've always been trying. It's a sport that is not natural to them. They are lag time. They're eons behind,
rugby.
and they are trying to come back. Yes, they play rugby, that they call football. But the reality is that that play was dirty. That could have torn the Achilles for that player that he attacked in that way. And yes, when you slow it down, you look even worse. You know, it looked even worse. And so the bottom line is that there was nothing unjust about that, because the play that they called and sent off the English player was less than that. Was not as egregious, and he got a red card for that as well.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, fair is fair. You don't try to interfere in the whole process of the game. The game is immaculate and sacred, and there's a process to it. There was nothing unjust, and then to take pot shot at the referee is ridiculous. You know, at the highest office in the global sphere, you'll attack the referee, but you hear bad things about him. This guy, something wrong with them people, boy, I tell you.
Yeah.
It's just irritating in terms of trying to bend and manipulate the rule to suit them for whatever reason. And I can't in somebody who is a connoisseur of sport kind of just accept that we are going to be able to bend the rules to suit us all the time, because we don't like the decisions.
Yeah.
You know, and that I'm glad you brought it up, because I raised it this morning. I don't think it was right. I think it's unjust. And you know, as the saying goes, you know, the ball doesn't lie. You know, so far it is showing that way. You know, that you can't the pureness of the sport, you can't buy your way into it.
Yeah.
You have to perform. You have to do, and you know. And that brings me to a point, because oftentimes we work on distortion. You know, I had a chance to go down the Coastal Road this weekend, and I was expecting the worst, because remember they had this flood, and the media and everybody, not this media house, but the tabloids media, they were basically creating this impression as though the whole entire road is destroyed and so on. Yes, you had the flood.
No way.
But I couldn't believe when I went through, the only area that was affected was an area that might be maybe 10 feet by 10 feet in terms of size. It's one little area that you could recognize because they have it with the white stone. But if I had actually believed the hysteria, I wouldn't have even taken the Coastal Road, because I would have think even up to today would have been impossible.
Yeah.
You know, we have to be fair. And I've always said, I come here to speak the truth, not to mislead and create hysteria. And I felt that when I saw that, from here onward, as far as other media houses, will never believe what they say. I will have problem believing what they say, because it's built on hysteria. Several other stories I've rechecked that doesn't have the same impact, and this one was one of those. I really was upset when I saw it, because like I was driving with a level of apprehension, right? Saying like, maybe I'll come across this huge gouge in the road, and that is going to be difficult for me to pass, or it might impact my vehicle. I was driving a bit scared. You know, when I was approaching around mile 18, 19, I was kind of slowing down and thinking that I'm going to see this huge level of destruction. Actually, it's only on one side. It's on your right side going. right? So
And that's because I roll off the mountain, comes.
no,
comes down
we
there,
understand the flood,
You know.
but somebody could have said, listen, I only 10 by 10. If you were telling the truth, then you just said, listen, the flood, yes, created an impact on the road, but it's only a little area, 10 by 10
Yeah.
or so that it gives that level of comfort. You created this huge hysteria. For what?
It's a well-built road, well-kept, and certainly cemented in areas where flooding is expected, and certainly signs out there as well, which show you 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, whatever. And even with that, we still want to drive through. We still want to see if we can make it, and we can see clearly what the signs are saying to us. But it's a well-built road and thoroughfare. I certainly big up Hubert Arrington with that. Hope that he can get his name attached onto it at some point in time, because I could recall him missing cabinet because he goes to mile 31 in trying his best to open up that road, which he did. We used to go there to go to Placencia. And then at that time, we never had no bridge, so there was a particular spot that we have to use in terms of driving through the water and everything.
Yeah, you
and,
had to go
and-
across
and
some creeks.
Yes. And one of my buddy, I never forgot, got stuck in that, and then
The game is now 4-1 for those
4-1,
persons.
okay.
4-1 Belgium.
Okay, for one, and he got carried down the river, but it's one of the well-built, kept pieces out there, so we got to big that up.
Yeah.
The People's United Party also had their convention over the weekend down in Dangriga, and what the convention does is to reinforce several different quarters of the party, and certainly keep its membership and what have you, intact in change. One of the ideal voices coming out was Deputy Prime Minister Cordell Hyde, who, talk plain Creole, talk good English, and what have you, and not really mix his words in terms of the party holding a much more higher standard and certainly being held accountable for going forward and what have you. So, it's something which you always try to encourage, always have the open discussion there as you move from one end to the other end. If you are like me and travel like Troy, myself, you'll also notice that there's a portion of the road by the roundabout there for Boom and what have you, which has been paved. But we also have to get the edges paved, or else it won't last, won't stand.
Good night, caller.
Yes, man. Blessing and night, Troy.
What's up,
Yeah.
John?
All right.
So, tell me.
Troy, it's been disappointing. One next year, we probably mango there and we talk about the same things for the last 40 years. Lots of mango there and the waste. Nobody do nothing about it.
No, I think we did more this year, caller. To be honest with you, this is the first time I had access to mango juice right by my street. We had done more right there on this show by encourage people to do something with it. And you actually had people who have the slices cut up still yet and what have you in a fridge.
Darrell,
Uh-huh.
Darrell, they leave it where you do not affect this country.
Mm.
When you talk about this country, you see what the Mennonites and those where you talk about, we are affected by the price of chicken, then go with that. They raise the price and then do what they want. Then the Chinese then collaborate with them, they don't do nothing with the chicken, they just stick on another price on it, and we smile and we have a bite. No. If we've been just like with Troy and everybody else, we really know the economics. May they get listened to, we'd have a better off. And when I talk about better off, I talk about one set of people. I don't want to call their name because they get offended when you get so close to the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Troy, the chicken where we used to, you used to talk about it, where we used to kill them on Sunday. They never made it smash.
Mm-mm. Well, they eat corn, they eat
The food
rodents,
where
they
you
eat
say-
whatever, they eat
Yeah.
rice, bun, they eat anything where you get a.
They eat
Yeah.
grass.
But remember now, the rainfall took a little more or a longer while to grow. Because remember, what is missing out of the discussion is the fact that
Troy, that's what I like about you, you know. You always come up with something to justify the real that we lack.
yeah,
You know what matter that time, you understand? Because if we never know about the enhancing and they're not pretty enhancing with them guys that is if you know this.
Mhm.
But I know the science because I got a diploma in agriculture.
well,
Very good, very good.
Right. And I know how we get there to the level of where we got there, where the people then hook.
yes,
Now, if the schools then, where the politicians then, would have made the control, would have made the do thing, then we wouldn't really depend this dependency thing where we depend. And I'm going to tell you, Troy, I so far to need no Troy that I know how to work hard. So I got time to stand up and watch while other people work.
all
That's
right.
the thing, right?
Well, you're fortunate
Now,
then.
that when I stand up and I look for the children and they come out of school, because I take it my business for the out there at between 2 and 3. Then you look for the desperation in the black child. Yes, man, he's confused. Now I tell you something. The school says it is doing a garden program. Right now the grass they grow around the very 2 or 3 can when they plant. And the child when they tell me he's so good, they even know the different variety of can then when he's supposed to know if he can get a job. No. When you look on it, I look on it like people, they fool people. And with the swallow thing, we're not supposed to go, so that thing have to change. And the only way it could change, that could change the mentality of the upper class, because of the upper class, they suppress the lower class. Because they know that they now got the power. That like, well, I'm going to tell you one thing before I go now, Troy.
Yes, sir.
This thing about crab mentality is not true. The upper class say it so that the lower class could convince that they can't get up there. So they throw down the leather, brother. They throw down
Well, pick it up, John. Pick it up, John.
me.
Pick up the ladder, man.
Hey, Troy, listen to me. I just tell you I don't have to. I watch.
All right, you don't have to. All right, but
And I tried,
but when-
I tried to do the advocation where they do by showing the other people then the errors where they go on.
All right.
Why do that for them conscious
okay,
that they've been fooled.
all
Now,
right.
Look at this thing again now where we talk about. I'm gonna let you this one.
All right, wrap. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened is that this next thing we are not believing at Troy. 1-1 okra full basket.
You don't believe in that?
That's not true.
What do you believe?
That 2-2 then.
No, 1 okra in a basket, Troy.
Uh,
By the end of the week, it's filed.
you're trying to take the thing literally, man. That's the problem with you, man. You that's a big fight with the saying you try. Your concept people said that if you
Hey,
go.
Troy, listen to me before you.
Yeah, but I know why you confuse our listeners with that distortion.
Troy, if the Mennonites, they do 1-1.
No man, it's not got nothing to do with no Mennonite. This got with us not wanting to put in the work or we need to put in. And then we get upset when somebody put in the work and start to benefit. One cocoa full basket. The Mennonite never start overnight. He start with a 1 leaf plot, 2 leaf plot, 3 leaf plot.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. You they can do something where we've done past right.
No. I know they support you. We knock me one cocoa.
Troy, if them do 1-1 okra, they wouldn't get it at the level.
They did 1-1 okra. They did 1-1 okra. That's why they did. This when we were growing up, us Darrell, Mennonite were selling peanuts in a Jublung.
Yeah.
That's how they started.
Troy.
1 cocoa.
Where are we there now? After put one.
Well, you see that you dey complain about the Mennonite how they big? Cause they cocoa done full, the basket full. The basket full.
You're paying for a black picture for me like I
I'm not playing no black picture. I dey remind you that they use the 1 cocoa principle and they now have the basket full.
Because it sounds good to you.
Not to me. I live it, John. I want we start to encourage our people. I want we start to encourage our people to see the good. All right.
You're right. You got the light, you got the bulb where brightest in the
No, I don't know. No brightest bulb at all. Not call it that. Not try to get condescending.
Yeah. It makes mischief with knowledge.
Yeah, John. Later. The point is, I am not disagreeing with him that as Belizeans we have to do more, but we have to do it together, right? The fundamental issue is that if we don't start today, we not reach there tomorrow. We have to start. We have to decide at some point in time which one of us is going to bell the cat, which one of us is going to take the initiative and see if we could create the communal structure, create the cooperative structure. It is communities working together. Because I may not have all the capital to make this thing big, but my capital and your capital and his capital, we end up got enough. That's what shareholders does in a company. They piece up the money. That's what equity is. I get 25%, you get 10, I get 5. Everybody the owner. And we work this thing till we get it to a point where all of us start to make our money off our share. That's what credit union is.
Yes.
Good night, caller.
Good night, Troy. Good night, Darrell.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Lassell.
I'd like to continue to go in with the Mennonite try. The thing is, the one two full baskets, right?
Yes.
But what happened, the thing is that I don't really believe that one the full basket, but what happened, you have to look at what it is to take away what they go into the basket from them. Where the Mennonites do, where the Mennonites not doing what we do, where they take away our money. The Mennonites, they know they drink, they know they smoke.
Oh, all right then. See, you make it even.
They know they have concert, they know they party the way how we party. So, as soon as you make it, you spend it.
They are focused.
They're focused, exactly.
Yeah.
That is different.
Yeah, they are focused. You see, I am always one to look at what it is that made you successful, not necessarily trying to see how I could bring you down to the level that I am. Because that is not going to make me any better. My thing is to look and see what has elevated you to that point that I think, if I think that you have elevated, what it is that got you up there. If you throw, like using John's example about throwing down the ladder, then I must pick up the ladder and set it back. And if me one can't pick it up, then 5 we must be able to pick it up and put it back.
Right.
I mean, if I want to get literal with his example, and since he brought up the cocoa, I decided to expand on it because at the end of the day, the Mennonite didn't start, they started with jungle. They started to sell peanuts. We grew up with the tantalized Mennonite and how they're dressed in a jublung and they smell sweaty and all of that. Let's be real.
The thing is that the almost every other retired house that ever have some kitchen cook.
Right.
Chicken cook.
Right.
When they bring in our friend there, they look at, they have cash flow, they come in every month, like I think $24,000 a month, selling chicken to the place of production.
Yeah.
So you got, and then up there right there, everything automated. And how much thing you have to do for it, because they feed itself, they do certain things and stuff. And so they have that as a thing where the family work, and then they go into the other things and stuff like that, and then they have their own credit union. Everybody's saving a couple $100 million
Right.
in the credit union. And they borrow for themselves, they provide their own electricity. They don't get electricity from the year. They pay their own road, they pay their own tax back there, plus they pay GST or whatever they pay for the government. And the thing is that they work together, and I think that the thing we have to...
You know, I found out just recently that Quality Poultry have about 100 shareholders.
Yes, definitely.
That not like a one-man thing. That all their money is pooled together. That now all of them are benefiting from their dividends based on the profitability of the entity.
Look at all the companies where they have shareholders in West Canada, in Tayazerbe, no shareholders.
You know, there are several persons, several units.
And we had another factory right there on the Philip Golson. I don't remember what closed that down, but we actually had another
Which factory?
chicken factory.
Yeah, right. So what happened to that the thing is that when the Mennonites come, they start, the thing is to start right. If you notice, the agreement they have it believes that they not interfere with the education system and not interfere with the church.
Mm-hmm.
And it's school where they have only got to standard 6. And if they build a nation, they start to build from the ground up. But what we do, we want to forgo that and go straight to bachelors and masters and PhD and whatever. But you need to start from the bottom where you start to build. And then now they could send their grandchildren now, where they're wrong. They go to university, they become accountant, and they become in the academia,
Mm-hmm.
so, in a management and that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them own most of the stuff back there only going to standard 6.
Yeah.
Majority, almost all of them.
Well, I think
Go to university, but they build something already.
2 points you raised that is
Have something from that.
2 points you raised that is very essential. The fact that they work in a communal fashion, therefore you build wealth when you consolidate, and secondly, they're focused. Those two ingredients is always going to lead to some level of success once you are focused and you stick with your plan going forward. I have never been one that criticized, because I'm not about dragging you down. We have a tendency, if somebody putting up a big building, yeah, either stealing, drugs, somewhere we find a way to try to discredit that success that we see, because we want that person to come down to our level. We don't want to go up to their level. We not say that they borrow a big loan. We not say that how much is sacrificed. We not say none of that. We're not interested in none of that, because we are interested to criticize how they got to that point. And I'm saying that if Miss Jane and them sit around the wait around for that idea, we will never have HRSU or these credit unions, St. John's and them that are there now, which is a communal structure, is a cooperative structure. You pool your resources together.
We have the same thing. We had the same thing, but we happened because of trust and because of management. And so because we have the cooperatives, and we have the fisherman cooperative. We have a lot of cooperatives where they work as Belizeans together. And as we go along, they have different Hanansi come in and they broke up the thing there. Give the credit.
And I wouldn't say that the Mennonite is void of their own conflicts, because they are human beings. I'm sure they have times when one or two of them kind of try run red light.
Up on the left side.
Yeah. But then your system is strong enough to hold together.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So we.
I mean, we had. Remember when we grew up, we have different clubs. We had CBA, we had Pickwick, we had Mike's Club. We had different clubs, and so people gather for business people and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the cooperative. We had everything in place, but what happened over the years. So that politics getting at those things, we got all kind of issues happen, and we never stay the course. We never be vigilant about it, and we never focus.
Yeah.
We get thrown all over the place, and now we're into.
You know what happened, right? They don't like here. Most people don't like here this, but the colonial masters gone home. They don't like here. They don't like here that. So as soon as they got home, everything broke up. We had order.
When the British were there, never hear nothing about vouchers missing and this.
Yeah, we had order.
Order.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. We always talk about the good old days, and they forget that the good old days were all pre-independence.
Right, exactly.
And
but the thing is that I think we should do try to get a couple of the Mennonites come in, and at least they could divulge some of how the success and the principle and the discipline that they have, no?
yes. Well,
because they're willing to talk.
they give us opportunities. They have every 2 years they have an agriculture show where more people go there than goes to the annual agriculture show. And
There's no liquor.
and
And benefit
you brought it up several times. There's no music, there is no
music,
alcohol. It's
no
strictly
alcohol.
business, and people go there and they benefit.
Right.
So
And
they
another one day fix. They give you coupons, so maybe a whole month for discounts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
know,
wow.
you might can't buy everything one day,
Yeah.
but you have a whole month to buy the rest of stuff you want.
Oh, wow.
they're teaching us every day. They're teaching us every day without telling us anything. They're teaching us if we would pay attention, if we would take our emotions out of the whole process.
Okay, right.
These people take the little mahogany and even the green one, and they scrape it up and they varnish it up and they come out and they sell us and our people can buy access to some of these furnitures and things that we never had access to before. You know, so it just showed the level of innovation that, you know, they get into heavy equipment, repairs of heavy equipment, because they understand that in order to work the soil and to do things, you need to have the technology to do it with.
They're into road building.
But
You
the
know?
thing we are missing, try. Here is a community where pay the taxes just like we pay like any business, right?
Mhm.
Number two, they build their own streets, they put in their own water, and they have their own electricity. Plus they pay we tax.
Mhm. That's
And
true.
they still pay the self tax to build all these things for themselves.
Yeah, they got a budget for civil works, for the road.
Works and everything. They got the police department, they got the fire department, they got ambulance, they have everything service they would think about for the community. Do you know that Spanish Lookout do not have lamppost light?
No.
All
No.
that you go there and like, there's no lamppost light.
Dark.
Dark, the whole thing. When that kind of
Asleep.
people go in your stay in your house.
In the house.
We were party, we did drink, and that's why we shooting and this and drinking at Chinese man shop. They don't have none of that.
Yeah.
What happened to we when we want to do something? We want to know if Super G will play, who are if we are got Belikin, if we are got this, and there's some people going.
Early to bed, early to rise.
So we happen everything about alcohol,
Yeah,
party, music, things.
Yeah, early to bed, early to rise.
Right, right now when they get up, they could get up early and then they put in a light day on us.
Yeah, that's true.
When they get up 4, 5 o'clock, we try to get at work late for 8 o'clock.
Thanks, man, Lassell. Appreciate the call.
Later.
All the
Yeah,
best.
Lance, always good to hear from you. We got a big up Belizeans in the River Valley and in other areas that I have visited. We still have the little chicken coop. And just this weekend out there again, huge chicken coop or what have you. They do get attacked now and then.
Why,
but,
I don't think you will get urban people to eat range fowl right now. They don't used to ready-made chicken. Good night, caller.
My two good friends,
Yes, sir, and Hector. Yes, sir.
Ron
Yes, sir.
Hector is in the house.
Mennonites.
Uh-huh.
I met the first Mennonites that came to San Ignacio to enter Spanish Lookout. There were 7 of them.
All right.
Okay.
They came in by bus. They went to Kalim Hamed, the big store, the Bat Bachet, the Bat Axe, and the Bat Pawasa. They went to the site by Mr. Dickie Smith farm, crossing at the Dory, and they entered the bush across the river. And they began to cut and trail to go in. When they went in with a trail to a certain area, the first thing came into their mind to cut down the big trees and turn them into lumber. That was the first thing they began selling, lumber.
Okay.
And they established a nice system with some olden Ferguson rubber wheel tractor. The other were attachment, and they made a sawmill, a portable sawmill.
Yeah.
They began to say, when Hurricane Hattie came, the Mennonites had lumber, the government, we had
hired them to start to build their land barracks. We have the pictures. I have a few of the pictures, and government have a lot of the pictures when Mennonites were the ones that began constructing before everybody, before public works began building the big land barracks that they had there.
Uh-huh.
And they established a clinic. A clinic was right there by side of the police station. No, it's still around there, it's in the building, with only church, one Mennonite church.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the Mennonites began. Then they went into vegetables, cabbages, and what is vegetable as they went in. Nevertheless, to cut it short, eventually they went into poultry. Because the only person that used to raise poultry was Guy Nard. We used to import eggs from Miami.
Wow.
Eggs, we used to import to George Alamia, Mr. Blake. They used to import eggs, tomatoes, and chicken. They used to import it. I remember right there on Norton Street.
Right.
Nobody else produced anything. So the Mennonites started going to poultry, then they jump into corn, and then just like that. And so these people have worked their way, I tell you. They have worked, and remember, they have their own court system. I used to be their representative,
Mm-hmm.
for about 9 years. I was their representative at Fanila Court. And I used to walk, they used to invite me to meet the elders, they call them. It's like
Yes.
a court system. Any little discussion, as you had just mentioned, between them and the argument, they go to the elders. The elders deal with anything that was petty crime or disagreements or fight or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I leave you with that because
Thank you.
I never called for this, only because I heard you mention it.
Yes, thanks very much, John Hector.
To the threshold. Threshold, $10,000. I heard that they are proposing that it be raised to 10 to 20,000. That will be a bigger scandal. Worth 20,000. Listen to me, man.
I agree with
Listen
you.
to this old man. The government has general orders and financial regulations. 2 books. I think they were green. They used to be green. That dictates anything how politicians and public officers should behave and conduct themselves. Those things are there in Belmopan. The other one, financial regulation, is how finances are to be distributed. Every ministry had one finance officer. My own at Ministry of Work was Mr. Rabatu, finance officer. They were the only ones that dealt with purchasing and whatever they had to do. Then you had financial regulations that had the main source that the boy Mike Ocean used to handle the person. So I say, at the moment, to control what is happening, bring back financial regulation and enforce it.
Okay.
That's the remedy. And follow with UNCAC. UNCAC is badly needed at this moment. It was signed in 2019 by Patrick Farber, and it's still around there creating dust like this. And my final one, FIFA, football,
Yes.
World Cup.
Yes.
To me, it's one of the dirtiest games I ever have seen as a footballer myself. I played football many years when football was football. You can't have somebody by the shot. You cannot push somebody. You cannot kick somebody. You cannot wrestle somebody. You do it 2 times and the referee takes you out of the game. But this is what they're playing right now. It's a rough, flooded game now. This is not the football that Pelé used to play, or Puskas, or Stanley Marchus, or even Maradona. This football right now is a mess. My God, that nearly wrestling match or kung fu, whatever they bloody call it. But I love it, so I am seeing it. I know it stop.
Yes.
No matter the test what I'm seeing, but I tell you. And then the greatest scorers can only score goals when somebody assists them.
Yeah.
If somebody knows you, Ronaldo. They never pass the ball to Ronaldo, so Ronaldo never score.
Ronaldo.
Same thing with Messi. Messi, they have to feed up for make it score. But Maradona used to ball through. Maradona was a goal getter. This present
Goal scoring
team
machine.
that you all love so much, they are goal scorer. The most score, they could only score if they get assist.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
your time.
Thank you, Don Hector.
Yeah, and I think Don Hector was a footballer one time.
Yes,
so,
he did. Yes, he played.
You know?
Going back to his second to last issue as to the limit without the level of approval, I concur with Don Hector in the sense that those rules are in place for some level of abnormality, not to be the order of the day. Good night, caller.
I like what you're saying, Troy.
Yes, sir.
Right? But if you don't change the rule of the same game's gonna keep on playing.
I hear you.
What the saying is, early to bed, early to rise, make a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Yes, sir. No truer statement have ever been made.
Mr. Carter, would you stop trying to annex towns and villages that is over the other side of the Burton Creek or the Halova?
All
Fix
right.
Belize City first. Make it look nice and beautiful, nice paved streets and all that good stuff. Then we get jealous and say, could you go take us too? Until then, stay where you are. Can't do what the British left you guys. The expansion all the way to Burton Creek. Put in the canals, make the water drain. So you can have a boat race, a canoe race down and up down the canal and make Belize some more money. Belize City.
Okay. Hear you. All right.
And, okay.
That's it? All right. Thanks, caller. Sure. Stop annex the thing. I mean, coming back to my point is that I'm not a fan of expanding the limit. I'm a fan of what the Prime Minister has said. We realize that this particular structure that we have in place for sort of exigencies and quick turnaround for small items and so is being abused. Maybe abuse is the wrong word, but it's been utilized abnormally, and therefore make the optics bad in the first instance. Because we don't get the audit yet, so we don't know what the outcome. But right now, as far as the optics, it don't look good. You don't feel as though everything is on the up and up. You know, issues like one vehicle being paid in multiple payments. That makes me wonder what the heck. You know. Hello, good night, caller.
Hello, good night, Mr. Darrell and Mr. Troy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
By Bengo, you look like you had a moment of lapse there for a little bit.
Yes. I have 4 things to talk about.
4, 1.
I want to start with 419 individuals took the police exam, sir. 419. You know what they tell me, sir? That time for make we stop give police officers who have retired contracts. Number 1. Time for make the government stop give contract to police officers who have retired.
Okay.
Number 2. Queen Adi, Miss Universe Belize. Man, I wonder if that she write that script or if that somebody write that script, sir.
Hold on.
Because listen to me. Because I don't got a lot of money like
Go ahead,
Elon
Bengo.
Musk.
Go ahead.
Yes, man. I not so happy with that, sir.
Okay.
You know, Miss Elizabeth feel like that you will receive like in this country, man. We have people that struggle even as we speak for put one piece of turkey or something on a table. As a matter of fact, someone didn't even put nothing in. So she wanted to talk about raise the threshold to more than 20,000. No, man, that is out of order. And I like what Mr. Mr. Hector just said about that. Sir, we have to understand that people like Miss Elizabeth, born with golden spoon in her mouth, her bread butter on all sides.
Hey man, listen. I don't make you. I don't make you. Same way I don't allow them to beat you up or so. I don't allow you to take advantage. You know they have to defend themselves. But I could understand if you want to have an issue with the statement he made, stay with that. But not get personal with that, because then you'll put me in trouble at some point.
But we not to get personal.
Yeah, but when you say somebody ban a gold spoon, you carry more personal than that, man. Are you in disagreement or agreement with the proposal she put forward? That we could have a discussion on that all night. I'm happy with that.
Okay, make a continue.
Stick with the facts, the issues.
Continue. You throw me off.
Come on, you're a teacher. You shouldn't throw off a teacher.
I want also.
You're a teacher.
I want also speak about, sir, the social security. Many of we work 30 hours, even 40 hours, sir. But say that social security can't give we one lump sum and a monthly pension. But yet, sir, they could bail out here, they could bail out here, they could bail out yonder, they could bail out yonder.
Wait, back up, man, back
And
up. Let me ask you a question. Hold on. I need clarity. You are not getting a pension, Bengo? You don't 60?
Listen to me.
Uh-huh.
There are many of us getting a pension from
No,
government.
man, hold on. You were making a statement that you know they get your lump sum and you know they get pension or something, and they ask you.
Listen to me.
Be truthful with you, man. Not spin a story where we're not factual.
Okay.
Are you getting a pension?
I am getting a pension
Okay.
from government.
No, but are you getting your pension from Social Security? Were you a contributor?
Not yet.
500
Not
plus
yet.
contribution?
I hope there won't be any hard time for me.
No. Are you not 60 yet?
No, I'm not 60 yet, sir.
Okay, so you know the work.
But I don't work.
No. Wait, the rules are because I experienced it too. The rules is that when you're 60 and you're not working, you can apply for the pension and you can get your pension. But when you're 65, whether you work or not, you are entitled to your pension. Once from Social Security, once it is that you have put in more than 500 contributions during your working life.
Mr. Darrell, I think I put more than that. Mr. Troy, I think more than
but you're not 60 yet, so you're not qualified yet.
No,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Mr. Troy, I believe that Social Security is a poor people institution.
Hey, but you have some rules.
I hate when I see Social Security, they bail out here. Like I hear directly, or they don't have a special office with a special vehicle for a special person.
Yes, that's
Huh?
good. That's not good,
Sir.
and that's not good.
It's not good. Indeed, and I want to answer with, I want to warn my Garifuna brothers and sisters, because there is a turmoil happening in our neighboring country, San Juan, Honduras, that is a Garifuna community and other Garifuna communities, sir. The soldiers are armed and going and taking them out of their community. Sir, I want to warn my people, especially those on St. Vincent Black Terror. Because of incompetence of its leadership, I believe that if we not tighten up, this is the same thing we will catch with. Because this leadership, they hide everything for we. They hide wasa money for we. They hide even with tax for we. And they hide people with rape and scrape this private property. So I beg them, sir, tell me the truth. So
Okay.
that we don't have to go through what those our brothers and sisters are going through in Honduras. Thank you very much, Mr.
Good.
Troy.
Yeah, been good. Have a good night.
Yeah,
I always believe in making sure that at minimum when these things come up, that we clarify them, especially as it relates to the pension situation with Social Security, because when you get statements as though people are not getting their pension, and so there's the rules, and many of us know if government retires at 55, that's a disconnect with the Social Security. Back in from 1981, where the rules were written, was when you're 60 and not working, you could claim your pension. When you're 65, whether you're working or not, and you have your 500 contribution, you qualify for your pension. That's the rule. But if you're 60 and you have your 500 contribution and you're not working, it's like government workers who retire at 55. But there's a disconnect because, yes, there's a 5-year gap. But bear in mind that government also have a pension system in place for established workers. Good night, caller.
Yeah, good night, Darren and Troy.
Hey, good night, good night.
Yeah, Troy, I'll sleep there again tonight.
Yeah, I know I look so, no, Joe?
I never come home today.
Yeah, no go home yet.
All right. I'd just like to raise some matters. I know that sometimes the Prime Minister or the Deputy and people just try to make some suggestions. And this whole matter of governance.
Right.
Because I believe we have taken too long to put certain things in place.
That is correct.
What happened keeps happening, and we always hear it not happen again. No. You remember we changed from Permanent Secretary to CEO.
Yes, sir.
I would like to have known, to me it was much better under that rule, because they were kind of independent away from the politician. They have to carry out the government activity for the day, or for the period of time they're in government, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the structure was was tighter,
Mm-hmm.
in my view, no?
Mm-hmm.
So, Darrell, Troy, you lived through a part of that, just like myself.
Yes, yes.
And so we could, just like how we feel where the lawlessness begin to come in when we take over for ourselves.
Right.
All right? The same way the lawlessness went across the board in terms of government. And, but one of the things that I don't know when government are going to put in place a structure where audit can take place the year after that. Every year, they should go in from, in my view, from November the year, ending the year. From November they start going, and audit from January come down.
Yes.
So by the time the following year come, that is already in the National Assembly. We know what happened.
That is correct.
Why the Prime Minister have to go back 15 years? So it seems to me like if he can go back some more years, how long that has not been audited?
Yeah.
The audit department and the contractor general and so on need more independent. I think that there should be a structure, in my view, from both houses of National Assembly to take on investigation without the Prime Minister or anybody have to appoint that. The moment some things come out and looks untoward, that should go to that committee to investigate independently. Something has to be done because it keeps happening, and that is only one department, right?
Mm-hmm.
One ministry.
Now you might come out and say, okay, yes, BDF used this and that and that. You know what I'd like to see, Troy?
Yeah.
We will never get on the battle. We think that this doesn't happen. All right. How much capacity? Let's base on vegetables, right, for the BDF. There are other departments that may have done the same thing. But what is the capacity that the kitchen?
Oh, you
or
mean
the
like
BDF
storage?
in terms of vegetables, right?
Storage.
Yes. Let's say, for argument's sake, they can hold 500 pounds of vegetables. So this is just a figure I'm putting out there.
True.
For a particular day, maybe for 3-4 days. Now, if you look at this, then if you look at the invoices and it says, oh, I deliver 2,000 pounds today. So so I'm getting paid for 2,000. You know something is wrong because their capacity can only be 500 pounds. You understand what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say, Darrell?
Yeah.
That's the kind of audit we like to see. How much? What is their capacity over a period of time? Then you will know if they are bouncing up the invoices or putting in invoices that they are not supplying. Okay, it seems to me in the millions for vegetables. I don't know if the capacity is there for that.
Yeah.
So we don't want to hear,
Well,
yes, the supply and then we pay.
Well, as far as we know, I hear you with the annual audits, and I'll explain how and why the deficiency and how we could shore that up. But I do understand that this 90-day audit at least should be able to give us some sort of redress or understanding of what has occurred, reference those particular smart stream screenshot that has been all over the place. We should be able to get a sense of whether or not we got value for
Yeah, with
money,
the technology,
because you're making some important points.
Right? And with the technology now, we should be able to view it much quicker.
Yeah.
So my point is, why is it that the Prime Minister now have to go back 15 years? We should have had that already.
That is as a result of where we are right now in terms of the audit, where we are almost 10 some plus years behind.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, that is going to be tinged with politics as well, because I keep reminding people that the Prime Minister is a politician. The People's United Party is a political party that has formed government. The United Democratic Party is a political party that had served in government. So when you hear a politician talking in certain ways, he also is putting on his political hat because he is into self-preservation mode as well. And so I take everything with a grain of salt, because if you start to take them literally, then you're thinking that I'm a businessman you talk to. No, you're talking to a politician.
Understood. But I'm just saying that we need to get to that point where the audit can happen the year after the year, just finishing.
Totally agree.
So that we keep up.
Well, what we need there then, since you brought it back again, we need to be able to put teeth into the Auditor General in terms of the rules, so that people can't dilly-dally and dance around providing the information to the Auditor General when he asks for it. The paperwork and the delay and the disrespect and the ignoring of the Auditor General, because now she can sanction you.
By the time money is stipend off, it will be in the millions, and we don't get it back.
It's after the fact. Remember, the audit is already after the fact. Audits are after the fact as it is. But to have it 10 years later is even worse.
It's too far, yeah. But, and secondly, and then this is where we need to mature again, right? When you become an area representative, you remember you're serving the area you represent. In my view, it's high time, I raised this matter before, that government, any government, they have to begin to look at putting a specific office for the area representative. Right? The moment you get elected, everybody has to know here is where the area representative has his office.
But doesn't that
and
exist,
a neutral
Carla?
ground and a neutral color and everything.
Oh,
you understand what I'm saying?
neutral, you mean? Oh.
Government change, that same office is used for the area representative.
Okay, you want a fixed office that?
Yes.
Okay, I see.
That is where we should mature.
Oh.
Let's say, like for instance, in Stanwick West, maybe because it's a huge area, maybe they can have two offices, one south and one west, right? I'm not saying that until the division is probably...
Yeah, they have to do with redistricting.
Right. But I'm saying that the area representative office should always be a neutral office, always set.
Okay.
The political party can have their office anywhere they want, but when that is finished, the area representative goes to that office, and that's where he represents the area.
Okay.
That's where I believe we should mature to.
Thanks, Carla. We got to go. Save a corrupt. Okay. Thanks very much. Appreciate the call.
Yeah.
There is these things that oftentimes we I don't know if we realize it or we don't want to accept it. But I always try to be as pragmatic as we can, because when I hear some of this statement, even coming out of this National Party Council, that's a political setting.
Mm-hmm.
What you'll get is the political rhetorics and there. And if you as a media want to go and record that and play that as though that's a sort of the country's or the government's policy going forward, you're going to be duped, because those are rally cries. Those are done in a setting to motivate and inspire your generals and soldiers and street captains and those persons who are politically inclined, and so you'll get a whole different tone in that setting. But like in this day and age, everything is news. But I don't take much from hearing that. That is, from a professional media standpoint, I expect to hear that. That's what I should hear at every single political rally. It is how you kind of energize your base. That's what happened. If you go to a Donald Trump rally, you hear a lot of fake news and confusion and mistruth and so, because they're there to energize their base. You can't take that now and turn that into news, because then you are now misleading the independent-minded thinkers and persons with that kind of confusion, because that was not for that was for a specific audience, right? But like I said, in this day and age, there's that level of distortion, and that's fine. I mean, it is newsworthy. It sounds sexy. It sounds impactful, and it gives the in this case, the People's United Party free airtime. Free airtime, because now they didn't even have to go buy air space to get their deputy leader message out, their party leader
point.
to the
That's a
rest
good
of
point.
the PUP base who weren't part
that's
of
a
the
good
delegate
point.
list.
Yeah, good point.
So
Yeah.
when I heard it, I said, well, I hope the UDP do one quickly so they could do for them one to and air it in the same light, so that they get the same equal treatment, because at the end of the day, I didn't see it as newsworthy, because it wasn't for the public consumption. It was for the delegates, and they are these special people who take the message of the party forward. But that's how the news cycle works nowadays in terms of creating the excitement. So, it reminds me of when we were growing up, all kind of nonsense used to be said on a rostrum.
Yeah.
Bread is spelled B-R-E-D. Oh, you missed out the A, B-R-E-D-A. So you used to get all of these foolishness that people say on the rostrum. But suppose you take that now and put that in a news cycle to make that news. It was built for built for a specific audience. But anyway, just want to tell you, check out Nixon Act 6101961. Give them a call, or check out their Facebook page, 610196160 Quan Street, Nixon Knox. I want to say good night to both my granddaughters, Ziana and Taylor, and my grandson Ace as well. And we trust that they are all doing very well right now, and school is out, so it's late to bed and late to sleep and all of these good stuff. And the downside of this is when school open, now you have to retrain them to get back into a routine, because they already get into the routine of going to bed late and wake up late in the morning and all of that, because there's nothing else there for them to do. But nonetheless, I want to urge you all, join us tomorrow morning as well. I'll be back here along with Ernesto, and we'll be discussing whatever is relevant on the menu for tomorrow, whatever the producer has drummed up for us. We certainly want to urge you to join us, and as well, join us again next week, Monday, where we should be able to do this all over again just for you.
Bev and Hunter, I say good night to you. Bev Mom, special good night as well. Keisha and Willie, special night to you guys. Our sincere condolences to Willie, who has lost his mom. I think his mom is 97 or 98.
Wow.
And he says, condolence to you and your family, my
Good,
brother.
good age.
All right. Eleanor Lang, we say good night to you. And certainly Ruth Arana, the great cook right out there at Constitution Park. We say good night also to you. To my brother James Lightburn and his daughters and family, and my sister Angela, who are listening to the show all the way in Canada. I say a very special good night also to you, my brother. And I want to take care and enjoy ourselves out there. Errol, our Burger King, I don't forget you. Show as well. The people who has Moscow plants every Saturday, they out at the market area. Special good night also to you. Philip Tate and Marcine Tate out of Belmont Pan. Say good night to you too. And certainly Michael Henley and Mrs. Henley, who listens to the show out there in Isabella Bank. Wayne Henley as well, I haven't forgotten you. The Ball and Herrera family, and certainly the House family out there. And if I continue, then I run into, again, the Henleys, elders over on the right-hand side, as I big up Owen Henley and certainly Shedrack Henley and Margaret Henley over on this side of the bank. When I cross over into Flowers Bank, I run into the Flowers family, the Rayburn family, the Robinson family as well. And Miss Smith, who is a chair lady, and the rest of the people out there who is doing a fine job. I had a chance to look at the new sign for Flowers Bank and certainly was impressed by it Sunday when I passed through in that particular area. In Burl Boom, we hail up Miss Angelit and certainly Niall, who is listening to us from the US of A, and the Bold Red Wine. And certainly all you people coming up into Buttercup, coming up into Landing itself. But before that, Scotland Half Moon, and then the Soler families and others that we meet out there. And then in Landing, certainly we big up Miss Florita and her family, and certainly all you wonderful people out there. Coming into town, we gotta say in Crooked Tree first. To Miss Wade and your family, we say good night to you, and certainly Groove and your family and the guys hanging out at the Chinese shop listening to us right now. Outside of that, it's certainly the Bud family right at the cutoff, going into Crooked Tree, and our people out at Davis Bank and the other little banks are coming in. And like I says, you turn again all the way into Rockstone Pond 1 and 2, Santana, Lucky Strike, Corstalito, into Mascal, into Bomba, Santa Marta. We know we place. Hey, Daryl Dice Brooks, certainly Dion Brackett, Bala, our number one runner. Crocus, we say good night to you too. Wani as well. Peter Carter and Tony Novello, Wayne Hope, if you're listening. As we say good night also to my next door neighbor, who is Miss Dahl, and certainly Rose, certainly Junior, and certainly Glenn and Lady, I haven't forgotten you. Brenda Lee, who is a great cook right there in Carso Street, and she's going to have bread this weekend. And certainly, if you don't put in your order by Friday, Saturday, you got to get left behind. Put in your order and get your bread one time from Brenda Lee. She does also the patties, also the powder buns, and she does catering as well, and hair stuff as well. To the Parham family in the alley, Judith, who is listening to the show, and all I know, Plum, and certainly Rambo, and all I know, special good night. To Miss Mearns and her family, and certainly Daryl Brooks' family, Cece and Basil, and as we big up St. Michael's, and certainly my buddy Tracy, and Murty also, who listens to the show, and let me see, we can't forget out my own body, but I will take it also from there. Down the road is Delroy and the guys him over at the auto shop, Burgess Auto Shop, and all the guys, the mechanic guys back there. We says special good night to you. Burr right next door, the Herrera family, and Fire on the Boulevard, and into Belize Foam, Charles Habanera, and certainly Dad Don Sarkis, and certainly Junior and your daughter, Miss Shar. I haven't gotten you as well. They does the mattress, the bed, the foams, and what have you that we use in terms of making our furniture, making whatever in there. Cuddy's Foods, good night to you as we come downtown. It's Supreme's Meat, Latino Barber Shop, Miss Wilma's Pharmacy, and I am at Fat Daddy's Burger, SDL Interdistrict Shipping Agent, and into Habit and Habet, where I saw Olga this morning, and certainly Leon, who's taking over in the meanwhile, and certainly Carmita, Miss Marsh, as we run into Matt sometimes, Mrs. Matt, and certainly mother-in-law who listens to the show, Matt's son as well as Miss Cho, and certainly Miss Lisa, Dino, Basil, and my schoolmate, all you wonderful people who we could buy for one little screw, one little item to everything you need right there into the house. V's Diners, we say good night to you. Also, M&M's Lumber Yard, and to our Constitution Park taxi stand. They're right out there, Percy Lewis. They're listening to us right now as we head to the corner of the bridge to Miss Hope, who listens to the show, Cedric Flowers and his accounting firm. It's over 65 years of service. My number one washer, Miss Tucker, and certainly the ladies, them that has King Street still alive and well, Trims, and certainly Posh, and so forth. To Armin's buddy, who is Norman, that does the hops right there, trims, threads, nails, and whatever, that I get my elastics, and certainly into Mikado's, that does all the fabric and what have you, Tear, and certainly Caroline, and certainly Shar, and all you wonderful people. To everybody who we meet from time to time who says, hey, we listen to the business hour, and those who have not remembered at this point in time, I am thankful to Troy Peoples, who is our facilitator on Love FM, Giovanni on TV, and from Troy and myself, we say thank you, Belize. We're out of here. We're
Bye-bye.
gone.